let's dive right into this Hail Mary thing, man. Because while the Hail Mary was going on, we got this kid, Tyreek Stevenson, who was taunting the crowd, celebrating a victory.
Oh, my God.
Basically celebrating the victory as like, this game's over, blah, blah, blah. Karma's been a real thing this year. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Karma's hit a lot of folks this year. A lot of folks. Karma's hit a lot of folks in the mouth this year. Smitty, I'm going to tell you, man, we've been talking about Hail Marys all year long. We've been talking about Hail Marys all year long and how to not defend them.
Yep.
I mean, it's happened how many times? How many Hail Marys?
No, we've seen a lot. So I know Caleb Williams had a Hail Mary earlier in the season. I believe like in the end of a half, I think. Aaron Rodgers had one. I know for sure. We just saw Jaden Daniels.
Smitty, how many college ones have we seen?
College, like it's been a
lot. Colorado beats Baylor on a Hail Mary.
Yep.
Miami.
Yep.
Miami.
Virginia Tech. I mean, that game goes down crazy. Why? Listen, I'm going to be honest with you, man, because I got to break this down in totality. And I've been talking to buddies of mine. A good friend of mine is a running back coach for the Jets, man. Shout out to him. I ain't going to say his name. You can probably Google it and find out real quick. But he's a real good friend of mine. Been knowing him for 25 plus years. Recruited me forever. We're a real one. Put it that way. Yeah.
He was with the Titans forever. Coached Derrick Henry for 8 years. Or for 5 years of his first 8 or whatever. And now he got a job with the Jets, and he's there. And my kid Jermaine's there. So I talked to this couple guys, and I'm like, dog, what has happened in the he's like, man, the in-depth teachings and coachings aren't happening anymore across football, period. He said high school, college football, NFL, etc. This guy is a true like college guy, teacher, coach. And I'm like, T-dude, man, what the hell is going on here in Hail Mary situation? Why are Hail Marys continuing to happen? I'm going to be honest, and we've had these conversations over a couple of brews and some yak. But here's the thing. NFL coaches, I'm just going to straight out tell everybody out here, although there's a lot of ones that are just so special. They're special ones that know more football than we've all forgotten. They know more football than we'll ever forget. And they'll also be able to teach you something new when you walk into the room. Even though you think you know football, they'll teach you something new. That's a real coach teacher. Then you walk into guys like NFL guys and you sit there and you're like, motherfucker, it's horrible. Like, I know high school guys better than this guy. Why is he coaching in the NFL? There's more of those in the NFL than the other ones I just mentioned that'll teach you something. I'm just telling you, it's a fact. And these are coming from NFL coaching buddies. I've interned. I've been around NFL practices. I've seen it happen. There's great ones, and then there's ones that are like, you're a nepotism hire. We know why you're here. You're literally horrible. Like, there's guys out there that are coaching positions that they never played, Smitty. There's quarterback coaches in the NFL because they're the coaches' boys that played tight end in high school, played tight end in college, and then we expect him to get Lamar Jackson better for his first few years. Finally, Lamar has T. Martin, a guy that played quarterback, and guess what? Oh, Lamar may be having his best season, to be honest. But does it take a rocket scientist to figure this type of shit out? We are hiring guys at that level that are in this circle so that we don't get backbitten or thrown under the bus as the head coach, coordinator, or up the chain, general manager. We hire guys that we know, we like. We know they're not going to tell on us. They're not going to tell us what we're doing wrong. Those are the guys. Yes, men. Coach Eberflus. Today on this show, I hate to call him coach, but I'll never disrespect the guy that holds that title. So I'm going to call him Coach Eberflus for the sake of the drill.
Uh-oh. What happened? What's wrong? What did he do?
Take a listen to this video. The play before the Hail Mary, Smitty.
Last play before the Hail Mary, 13-yard strike, they get out of bounds in 2 seconds. Are you preparing that play for them to run some kind of shots to the end zone laterally, or is that something where how do you look back on that spot?
Yeah, because you're defending touchdown, right? You're defending touchdown there, and them throwing a ball for 13 yards or 10 yards, whatever that is, doesn't really matter. It's always going to come down to that last play. And it came down to a 2-second play to the last play, and we got to execute on that one.
He said it doesn't really matter. It didn't really matter, Coach JB. He said it came down to the last play. The 13 yards didn't do nothing, is what he's saying. Your thoughts?
Listen, I'm not a math major. I'm a cold hustler, but I'm not a math major. The last I checked, I know Jaden Daniels because I've been around him. My buddy Dave Porch, coached him in high school here, Cajon High School right here in San Bernardino. Jaden can probably throw the ball 60, 65 yards standing on free air. Can't throw it 80. So I'm not a math major, but I am a hustler, and I'm going to take – I'm not, you never go broke taking profit. I
preach it.
I'm going to throw a 13 to 15-yard out route because you played fucking 25 yards off me with enough time for me to get closer so my quarterback doesn't have to try to throw it 80. But even better, you know what would have made – you know what it would have been? Because we wouldn't have threw it 80 because it doesn't make sense. We'll never get it down there.
Right.
It would have ended with what? Hook and ladder, Hail Mary, hook and ladder, a bunch of laterals. The game would end with a fucking guy getting hit, and the game would have been over. The 15-yard out route absolutely lost you the game. And I'm not an NFL coach. I'm not an NFL head coach. But my segue to this segment was NFL coaching is overrated, and a lot of them should not be coaching it.
And to your point, and not to cut you off, the throw, if you see the throw, like he kind of barely got it to the end zone. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like, and I mean, of course, you want to throw it to where the crowd is at.
It didn't get in the end zone. It didn't get in the end zone.
You know what I'm saying? So imagine if you don't get that 13-yard out. He's literally not, like you said, he's literally not even getting close.
We're not even throwing that ball. We're throwing laterals. We're throwing laterals. So for him to say that is absolutely embarrassing. And these are coming from coaches I've spoke to this week. You can't wait to hear Eric Weddle when he's going to talk about it. Like,
let me ask you this then, JB, to that point, not to switch subjects, but I know a few minutes ago we were going in on Caleb Williams a little bit, just saying he was 10 for whatever, had 30-something yards going to the fourth quarter. How much of a role, though, is Coach Eberflus playing in that? And Caleb Williams he's had a decent season, but he hasn't been playing the level that we thought, or a lot of the media thought he would perform at. That has to play into the role, though, having a coach that a lot of people don't seem to think is doing a good job.
I don't think so. Nah, they got too much talent, Smitty. Like, at the end of the day, so you're telling me this guy was a head coach already there. They drafted Caleb.
Right. And hold on, and he was a head coach with Justin Fields, and Justin Fields didn't perform well there either. So now you're seeing the trend is like, is it the quarterbacks or is it the coach?
Yeah, Justin was getting better, though. You could argue won 5 of the last 6 or whatever last year to end the season. I thought he was on a high note. But if you go to the Washington side, you got a first-year head coach, first-year OC, and a first-year quarterback. They shouldn't be better than a guy that already has a temperature of the room in Eberflus with Chicago in that roster. You go out and get Keenan Allen in offseason. You go out and get Swift in offseason. You go out and get you draft Odunze. And Dunze, and then you already have more. The talent right there is top 5 offensive backfield wide receiver talent in the NFL, in my opinion. You have a decent.
Which is why I'm saying I think we should look at the coaching situation. I hear what you're saying, but Dan Quinn is an OG coach. I know you're saying first time head coach, whatever. That's an OG though. We know he can coach football. Kingsbury is a really good offensive mind. He's not a good head coach, but he's a really good offensive mind. We know that. Like, so they're solidified. What is Eberflus good at? I don't know. I mean, is he a defensive guy? I don't know.
Back to my point. Why does he have a job? That's my point. That's why we were just talking about it with coaches in the league, and you'll ask Eric Weddle and Sean King later. Why are these guys coaching? Like, they shouldn't be coaching. And when that comment like that he just made about the 15, 13-yard doesn't mean anything. We got to defend the last play. That may have been one of the top 5 or 6 dumbest things I've ever heard in my life, ever. Not just football. Like, if I just went out to the store and I happen to catch Eddie Manyweather out at the store, I know Eddie's gonna say one of the dumbest things that I'll ever hear in my life, but that'll be in the top 5 with this.
Right.
That might be the worst, the dumbest, top 5 dumbest things I've ever heard any human say. Like, Smitty, it doesn't, like, seriously, you can't say that as the head football coach, because now all the talking heads out here who are a bunch of nobodies,
right,
who don't know anything, at least they cannot be wrong on this. Even the nobodies out there, the absolute fucking nobodies, can still say, damn, that guy's not very smart. And they would be right.
Yeah.
Like, that's how bad that take was, homie. That's the worst take. You are the CEO, the NFL head coach. You are one of 32 in the world, Smitty.
Yeah.
You know how many motherfuckers want that gig or deserve that gig that don't have that gig? I'm just telling you, it's a bad look, dog. It's a bad look. I have no idea where to go with that. It is what it is, but